What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel, where in this video we are going to be covering everything we know about The Mandalorian Season 3 right now, and from there we will get into some speculation about some things that we could see and a few things that I would like to see as we enter this pivotal next chapter of the show. So the first thing that we know is that Season 3 will release in 2022 after the Book of Boba Fett, so likely in early 2022 as the Book of Boba Fett releases in December 2021. The show was set to begin production after the Book of Boba had finished filming, and Boba began production in December 2020, so considering that and the fact that The Mandalorian is set to release in 2022, I would say they are probably going to begin production very soon. The really big thing to start to watch for, though, is that when Disney announced those new projects, which included Ahsoka and the Book of Boba and Rangers of the New Republic and Kenobi and Lando and all those shows that are going to be coming out in the next few years, it was said that The Mandalorian is eventually going to converge in a climactic story event with Ahsoka, Book of Boba, and Rangers of the New Republic. And that's a really big deal. We don't really know what that means. We don't know what this event is going to be, but it's something to really keep your eyes open for as these new shows start to be released and as The Mandalorian obviously continues to develop. And it's also worth noting that although I don't believe it's been confirmed, a time jump has been rumored and is likely to happen in Season 3, like in between Seasons 2 and 3. So when we pick up Season 3, there's going to be some things that have already taken place, you know. It will be interesting to see who is now wielding the Darksaber, which is one of the big questions I have. I would assume that Din Djarin is going to be wielding it, but who knows, maybe he hands it off to Bo-Katan and they've already settled that whole dispute and they are now trying to unite Mandalore. Or maybe Din Djarin has gone off on his own again. I don't think that's going to be what they do, but it's possible. Another thing with the time jump, though, is that this could allow for Grogu to return to Din pretty early on in Season 3, or maybe even to be with him when the show does begin. Again, I don't think that's going to happen. I think a few episodes will pass and then Grogu will come back to Din. But this is the really interesting thing about the time jump, because it means that Grogu could go train with Luke for a while and then either be sent back or choose to come back on his own, and we could see them together again a whole lot sooner than many people are expecting. And that is one of the big questions I have. When and why will Grogu return to Din Djarin? Because I am very confident that that will happen at some point. Not sure that it will be in Season 3, although I am optimistic about that, but I do think it will happen at some point, whether it be a couple seasons down the road or whatever. So those are the big things. I know it's not a whole lot. We don't really know too much about Season 3 right now. It's being kept under wraps, and I mean, that's to be expected because production has not even begun, or if it has, it's in very early stages. I mean, another thing we know for sure is that Gina Carano will not be returning, so Cara Dune is not to be in this season. Maybe her name will be mentioned, I don't know. I think it's probably more likely that they will just ignore her presence completely, and a time jump does make that convenient. It does allow for that to make sense and not to raise any eyebrows. And I did make a very short video about Gina's firing a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't really say too much about it, and I'm still not going to. We're not going to get into that. You guys can feel however you want to feel. I think it could be a little weird that they're just going to write her off. She had developed a relationship, of course, with Din Djarin and Grogu and a few of the other characters, but at the end of the day, she's gone, and it's really not that big of a deal in terms of the storyline. But staying on track here, one of the things that I really do want to see is the live-action debut of Sabine Wren. I really like the character of Sabine. I like all of the Ghost crew, you know, and I really think it makes a lot of sense for Sabine to show up. She is a Mandalorian. And not only that, but she was not with Ahsoka in The Jedi, the episode in which Ahsoka showed up in the last season. So if she's not with Ahsoka, who is the last person we saw her with in Rebels, then it would make sense to see her back with the Mandalorians, at least maybe having a run-in with them at some point, and I don't see why they wouldn't do that. But I think that's just about all I've got for you guys on The Mandalorian Season 3. I will continue to update if anything big comes out, but I think we're just going to be sitting tight and waiting to see what happens, and I'm totally fine with that. I don't really want any spoilers. I'm going to avoid spoilers at all costs if I can, so don't expect me to be making videos about that because I don't want them. But that's going to wrap things up for this video, so thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys are most excited about seeing in The Mandalorian Season 3. Please remember to leave a like on this video to support the channel, subscribe subscribe to the channel if you are new, and of course, may the Force be with you always.